Really good. Yeah, it's exciting, obviously, playing the first game, getting that under our belt, and then watching that Montreal-Boston game last night was a lot of fun. So we're excited to get back on the ice.
Just out there, but what's the kind of vibe like, and how important is it to kind of keep the energy up and sort of excitement?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think when we think of playoff time, like obviously that can be seen as a lot of pressure. Obviously, you want to elevate your game as well, and you want to take things a little bit more seriously, but it's important to stay at the core to who you are and your team identity. And so with us, we just keep things light, have a lot of fun. And I mean, it's pregame skate. We're out there for 15, 20 minutes, have some music, good vibes, and be ready to go for tonight.
I'm sure you saw the news this morning on WNBA. Seeing PWHL succeed in Toronto, what type of city is this for women's sports, and how excited are you for the WNBA to come here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Toronto's proven time and time again that they love our sports here. And so with the WNBA, I was at the game last year and it was absolutely electric the entire week leading up to the game. So I couldn't be more excited to have the chance to witness women's professional basketball and have them join us here as professional women's sports.
One of the things said about the game the other night was that it was Jocelyn felt it was actually less physical than regular season, maybe because of not wanting to take penalties or anything like that. Did you notice that, and did you think that changed?
I'm not sure. I think with our team, like we like to lead the physicality and really set the tone and dictate. And so when I think of our games, I always think of how physical the game is really dependent on what we do. And so I definitely don't think it was as physical, but when you get down to playoff time, you are in the back of your mind thinking about penalties, and you never know, getting a power play started, you never want to create that momentum. And so I think it was a little bit more careful, but at the end of the day, we're going to continue doing what works for us. And if the physicality level needs to be brought up, especially against a team like this, we'll definitely do it.
Talk about playoff time. Obviously, one of the things that's different from the regular season, playing the same team multiple times over again, 48 hours apart. Does that sort of change the mindset, or how you guys? Is there any sort of approach to that, or is it just?
We've tried to keep things really similar to how we've done in the regular season. And in the regular season, you can't really dwell on what just happened the game before because you have a completely new opponent who you need to look and strategize against. But when you look at a playoff time, like this is a series, and this is somebody that we could see 3 to 5 times. And so when you look at that, it's understanding their tendencies, what they like to do, their face-off plays, how they like to break out the puck, how they like to forecheck. And so there are definitely things that we pre-scouted and we know about Minnesota that are going to help us as we go through the series. But I think the strength of our team has been able to make in-game adjustments throughout the season, depending on who we're playing and depending what they throw at us. Because a lot of the times our game plan stays the same, but other people try to combat that. And so we have to make little tweaks, little adjustments so that we can continue to be successful.
One more, I was going to ask about the adjustments. I mean, you would expect they would want to make some besides getting practice. But as they make adjustments, and you make adjustments to those adjustments, like is there a lot of kind of mind games going on or anything like that on your side?
Not necessarily. I think that we want to continue to be better and elevate. We're not, happy with how we played the other day and said, that's going to be the story. We're going to continue to do it throughout the whole series. But I really do think that it's on them to try to combat what we do. And I don't think that for us, there are going to be anything hugely changed or anything like that. But we know, we broke the puck out excellently the other game. We forechecked great. Our transition game was great. And so continuing to build little pieces like that, little tweaks here and there, but I don't think we're going to have huge changes for sure.
What would it mean to go up 2-0 going into Minnesota?
It would be huge. I know that we spoke about it before the series started, and when you're on the road and you come in, all you want to do is split. Winning 2 games is a bonus, but all you want to do is split. So then they can go back home and have their home ice advantage. But for us, using the energy of the crowd, the building, being at home, I think it's going to be huge for us to be able to go up to 2-0 in this series. We want to win, and we want to do it in as few games as possible. So we want to bring our best game tonight and hope for the best.
Well, we just asked Sarah what it would mean to go into Minnesota up 2 games to none. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that's every team's goal entering a series at home, but we just want to come out with the same mentality and game plan we had last game, and obviously just play hard, play physical, and it's part of our culture in Toronto. So, yeah, we're excited about tonight.
One of the things that came up last night's game to Boston Montreal was that going back to a game like that 2-1 that they played. How big, like obviously this year you guys too as being one of the top end scorer. Just how much of this time are really get everybody going?
Yeah, I think it's a huge thing. I think you see it in the NHL. They always talk about depth in the playoffs, and that's something that we have in Toronto. So, yeah, we're definitely going to see that down the stretch.
I have a bit of a weird question, but how does the ice compare here? I mean, you all played at, I don't know, a bunch of different rinks this year, and ice can be slightly different. This is new, but how was it?
Yeah, it's awesome. Obviously, the ice, the atmosphere here, it's been amazing. It's cool. I have a buddy at home, Greg McKegg. He played for the Marlies, and he's up in the rink, so pretty cool. I was telling Mike Ellis, who's also from St. Thomas, that, and obviously being able to see that, it's so cool being from St. Thomas and having someone that I've been on the ice with in the summer and trained with before. So it's definitely a great atmosphere out there and a great facility.
This could be a home for the team moving forward after this season. What kind of first impression have you had of the atmosphere here in fans?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I think it's extremely unique to be able to walk through the concourse during intermissions on the ice and to be able to have that fan support in between periods. And it's just so cool. It's something we've never had, being able to walk through a concourse like that. So it gives you chills for sure, but it's definitely exciting.
I had a couple of video sessions with a couple of players and watched the game last night.
Yeah. So what did you think of the game?
I thought it was good. I think it's good. Like, I mean, one of the things when you're in one series in the semifinals and you have another series, you want them to play as long as they have to play. So when it gets to overtime, it's something you look forward to seeing.
Scouting at all, like a half an eye?
Yeah, not a lot. We make sure you generally scout a little bit. We get a lot of the information via video as well, but you're trying to be aware of any little tendencies that either one of the teams are doing. Some of it's for if you're obviously lucky enough to get to the next round, but part of it is there little things that those teams are doing that you can pick up that you may be able to incorporate into your own series. So,
Obviously, you guys are on the ice in this spot. Does that and sort of the rest factor, the fact that probably just get comfortable, does that affect you guys at all?
Yeah. We're a little bit different than some teams, I think. Like we use our game day skates for whatever we think whatever the athletes think they need. It's not mandatory. It's always optional. I generally don't go on the ice on a game day skate. I think it's great for my assistant coaches to have that time with our athletes to build a little bit of a relationship with. I also like not being on, so it's not always necessarily business. It's what they think they need individually to be successful for tonight. So, a handful of people didn't come to the rink today. I don't even know who they are necessarily because we don't really track it. We don't monitor it. It's just whatever they need to do to be at their best tonight.
But on that, a lot of on here as well. What's that kind of say? Like just
Yeah, a lot of it is somewhat predictable. Like we gave them yesterday off, so a lot of players don't like to play a game without practicing the day before. So they like the day off, but they want to get on the ice. So a lot of times in that scenario, a game day skate after a day off is usually the numbers are up.
Is that kind of how you like to lead as a coach? Like, do your own thing, do what you need to do to be ready? I think I saw a video of your post-game message to the team. It was do what you need to do to be ready for you.
Yeah, I think sometimes we can get in the way. I mean, they're professional athletes. The staff professional. They know more what they need than we do, and we have to trust that they're going to do what is necessary to be successful. Doesn't mean you completely do it blindly. Like if you start to see people underperforming, you try to encourage a conversation to see if there's any tweaks they can make to their approach. But generally with this group, you just trust that they're doing what they need to do to be successful. There's no way that every athlete would have the same needs on a game day. So you got to kind of adjust. Some players would have played a lot more in the first game. Some would have played a lot less. Some probably need a bike after the game. So you just got to trust that we're providing them with the resources to do what they need to do to be successful.
I wanted to ask about adjustments made to their adjustments. I sort of try to word that a certain way, but obviously they need to make some adjustments or will, and then you have to anticipate that. What's that process all about?
Yeah, a lot of our adjustments that we'll make are just stuff that it's not that we felt Minnesota forced us to make any adjustments. There's just some adjustments within our game that we got to be better at. We thought there was a little bit of a disconnect in our D-zone coverage where our wingers got caught sort of pushing outside the dots, anticipating breakouts instead of clogging things up in the middle and then jumping to your breakout spot. So I suspect we'll clean that up tonight. I have a little video session prepared for them before when they arrive at the rink. So if we tidy that up, it helps us defensively, but it also helps us with our breakouts. And thought we gave their D a little bit too much puck possession on the offensive blue line, so we'll hopefully negate that a little bit tonight.
I'm sure you saw the news this morning about the WNBA.
That's awesome.
To Toronto.
Yeah.
What type of environment for women's sports is this city?
I think it's incredible. I mean, I didn't see the whole press release. I was on my way to the rink, but I knew that it was something that was being worked on behind the scenes. And a city like Toronto deserves a WNBA team. I think it just needs to be in Canada. I know our group's very excited about it, and I don't know if it's true, but I heard they could be playing out of this building. I think this is a great facility to start a new WNBA franchise, and as much as it's a completely different sport, almost running 2 different seasons, it just says a lot for women's sport right now, and I know our entire group are ecstatic that we'll be sharing the city with them.
One more about going into Minnesota, possibly 2-0 lead. What would that mean?
It'd be great. We got a lot of work to do tonight to ensure that we're jumping into that Minnesota in that situation. But ultimately, that's the goal, is to be up 2-0 after tonight. But there's still a lot of work to be done before we can say that.